Hey guys, good morning. I'm in Changsha right now and my brain still hasn't recovered from last night's flaming hot Hunan feast. It was like a Maroon 5 concert on my taste buds. This city is a full-on night owl. At 3 a.m., the streets are more crowded than my hometown's Thanksgiving parade. I opened the ride-hailing app to call a White Horse Knight to take me to the station. And guess what? The driver who showed up was wearing a fluffy teddy bear pajama onesie. Seriously, is this what they call Chinese punk? In LA or New York, if someone picked you up dressed like that, you'd probably clutch your pepper spray and double check your life insurance. But in China, that's just called lifestyling. The guy was as polite as a British butler and even asked if I wanted to listen to some energetic EDM. Check out this dashboard screen. Guys, this isn't a car, it's an iPad Pro Max Ultra on wheels. I was genuinely worried that if I tapped the wrong icon, the car would launch vertically to Mars like an Elon Musk rocket. In China 2026, technology sparkles in the air like stardust. The old cars back home that still use antennas to catch radio stations, they belong in the Smithsonian, on display with a plaque. We arrived at Changsha South Station. Honestly, every time I walk into a Chinese train station, I feel like I've stumbled into Star Trek headquarters. It's ridiculously huge, so majestic that I felt underdressed without a tuxedo. What really amazed me was how the floors, even with thousands of people walking through every minute, were clean enough to reflect my still greasy face. The waiting hall is so spacious, you could host 3 NBA games at once. I followed the crowd down the escalator and saw track after track stretching to the horizon. Changsha is clearly a mega transportation hub. And then, there it was, the Fuxing high-speed train. Guys, this thing looked like a missile, sleek, cool, and blazingly fast. I grabbed a window seat. That's my one non-negotiable rule when I travel. After all, who wants to miss the god view of the world outside? The train took off with such smoothness, it felt like a violation of physics. I placed a bottle of water on the window ledge, completely still like it was meditating. Outside, the scenery began to flash by like an 8-time speed slideshow. Endless farmlands and perfectly arranged houses, their rooftops gleaming under the sun. It's nothing like the outdated images I used to see in old newspapers. Here, every corner radiates the message: our life is thriving and cool. In the blink of an eye, we arrived in Wuhan. The station's exit design was a masterpiece of architecture. It was drizzling outside, and once again I experienced the joy of getting a ride in seconds. As we crossed the Yangtze River Bridge, the mist hovered above the water. Wuhan, often dubbed the Chicago of the East, had this indescribable cyberpunk vibe in the rain. The infrastructure here feels like it was designed by the divine. Alright, review time. I booked a hotel for just under $42. In LA, that amount might get you a drafty motel where the staff only communicates by yelling, and you'd still worry about surprises under the bed. But in China, check out this room. The bathroom is big enough to host a press conference. This mattress, a lifesaver for my spinal discs. Not long after, a soft robotic voice came from outside my door. Even cooler, there's a robot room service. It felt like my first AI buddy in China, always punctual, never complains, and doesn't accept tips. Starving, I ordered Wuhan's famous hot dry noodles. That bowl was a sesame sauce party, pure soul therapy. Full and happy, I decided to go test out some rumors. Many of my American friends ask, aren't you afraid to go out late at night in China? I say, dude, the only thing I worry about is stepping on streets that are too clean. I checked out the hotel's free laundry room. Yes, free, even had a dryer. I walked through Wuhan's rainy night under an umbrella. The streetlights were bright, the sense of safety was high, and rows of shared bikes stood neatly everywhere. I saw rows of European-style buildings, solemn yet graceful. Then I slipped into a narrow alley. Wow, this was the China I'd imagined. Red lanterns, curved eaves, all soaked in the timeless quiet of the rain. I didn't have to worry about someone following me. The peace was beyond words. At the end of the alley, it opened up. A glowing gate stood tall, crowned with a galloping horse. 2026 is the year of the horse, a symbol of speed and success in China. Though the lantern show had ended, standing in the shining plaza, I could feel the pulse of culture and tech intertwined. No drunks, no foul smells, just peace. Back at the hotel, I was frozen like an old popsicle. But the restaurant was still open with free late night snacks. Steamed buns, millet porridge. When that warm porridge went down, I felt completely healed. That's Chinese hospitality. Under this roof, no one goes to bed hungry. 5:24 a.m. For Americans, this hour only exists in horror films. But for people in China, it's the start of a new day. I checked out, swiped my phone, and a ride appeared instantly. The driver took me to a breakfast stall, fried, boiled, steamed. Everything was calling to me. I grabbed a bowl of noodles and headed to Wuhan Station. Security was strict, some might complain, but to me, that's what real safety feels like. The neatly lined up trains looked like something from a future spaceport. At the waiting area, I devoured a $2.5 bowl of beef noodles with 12 chunks of meat. I honestly wanted to give the chef a hug. The train rolled again. We were heading to Shandong. When we entered Henan, it started snowing. A moment ago, it was drizzling. Now it was a snowy wonderland. It looked like a scene from the Chronicles of Narnia, quiet and magical. China's high-speed rail stays rock steady, even in the snow.
Railway Station. 女士们、先生们，为确保动车组列车行车安全，动车组列车全列禁烟， 请旅客们不要在动车组列车任何。
Finally, we arrived in Qufu, the hometown of Confucius. Thousands of years ago, he laid down the wisdom and rituals of Chinese civilization. My journey ends here, for now. Guys, this is why I love it here. Cutting edge tech and the gentlest warmth. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm your travel buddy. See you next episode.